Are you tired of waking up already feeling behind? Do you open your eyes and immediately feel that weight of everything you need to do pressing down on you? I know that feeling. For most of my adult life, I lived it every single day. Let me tell you something that might sound familiar. You wake up, grab your phone before your feet even hit the floor, scroll through emails or news, and within 5 minutes, you're already reacting to other people's priorities. Your day owns you before it even begins. Sound about right? For years, I wore my night owl badge like a shield. I told myself I just wasn't wired for mornings, that I was more creative at night. That morning, people were just built differently. But the truth, I was lying to myself. I was waking up to a life of pure reaction, immediately diving into emails, chores, or other people's needs. I was burnt out, irritable, and always feeling 2 steps behind. Today, I'm sharing how a simple 10-minute morning sanctuary changed everything for me. And no, this isn't about military discipline or waking up at 4 a.m. like some productivity guru. This is about something much more important. It's about taking your power back. Let me take you back to where this journey really started for me. 3 years ago, I hit a wall. My doctor looked at me during my annual checkup and said something that knocked the wind out of me. She said, "You look exhausted and your blood pressure shows it. When was the last time you woke up feeling rested?" I couldn't answer her. I genuinely could not remember the last time I woke up feeling good. I was in my late 50s, and I'd spent decades telling myself that stress and fatigue were just part of being a responsible adult. That sacrifice was noble, that putting myself last was somehow virtuous. But sitting in that doctor's office, I realized something terrifying. I was teaching my own grandchildren that exhaustion is normal, that waking up defeated is just what adults do. And I knew deep in my bones that I had to change. So I started researching, not the flashy productivity stuff, but actual sleep science and behavioral psychology. And that's when I discovered something that changed my entire perspective. The problem was that I needed more willpower. The problem was that I was approaching my mornings all wrong. Let's talk about the willpower myth, because this is where most people get stuck. You don't need more grit. You don't need to become some superhuman, disciplined robot. You need a better why. Most people fail at morning routines because they treat them like another item on their to-do list. They read an article that says successful people wake up at 5 a.m., meditate for an hour, exercise, journal, and plan their day. So they try to copy that exact routine, and they fail. Because it's not their routine. It's someone else's. Here's what actually works. Ask yourself this simple question. What version of me do I want to be today? Not what should I do? Not what would impress other people. What do I actually value? If you value peace, your 10 minutes might be sitting with a hot cup of coffee in complete silence, watching the sunrise. That's it. No productivity. No optimization. Just peace. If you value growth, maybe it's reading 5 pages of a book that challenges you. If you value connection, maybe it's writing a short note to someone you love. If you value gratitude, maybe it's simply listing 3 things you're thankful for before the day rushes in. When your actions align with your values, motivation becomes automatic. You stop needing discipline because you're not forcing yourself to do something you hate. You're protecting something you love. I learned this the hard way. My first attempt at a morning routine was a disaster. I tried doing what everyone said I should do. Meditation, cold showers, protein smoothies, the whole thing. I lasted exactly 4 days before I gave up completely. Then I got honest with myself. What did I actually want? I wanted to feel like a human being, not a machine. I wanted to remember what it felt like to have a thought that wasn't about my to-do list. I wanted 10 minutes where nobody needed anything from me. So I designed what I call my launch sequence. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to build yours. First, decide the night before exactly what those first 10 minutes look like. Don't leave it to chance. Your morning self has 0 willpower. Your evening self needs to set up your morning self for success. For me, it started embarrassingly small. I decided that before I did anything else, I would clear the kitchen counter and do 3 simple stretches. That's it. No grand ambitions. Just clear the counter and stretch. And you know what happened? That small win created what I call success momentum. When I cleared that counter, I felt like I had control. When I stretched, my body woke up differently. And suddenly, making a healthy breakfast didn't feel like a chore. It felt like the natural next step. Here's the secret that nobody talks about. The content of your 10 minutes matters less than the fact that you protected them. You're not trying to become productive. You're trying to become intentional. Let me give you some real examples from people I've talked to who made this work. Margaret, who's 72, spends her 10 minutes watering her plants and talking to them. She says it reminds her that growth is slow and steady, and that caring for living things, including herself, is worthwhile. Robert, who's 65, uses his 10 minutes to write down one memory from the previous day. Just one. He says it's training his brain to look for good things instead of problems. Linda, who's 58, makes her bed with hospital corners, the way her mother taught her. She says it's her way of honoring the day ahead and creating order in a world that often feels chaotic. Do you see the pattern? None of these people are doing what they think they should do. They're doing what resonates with who they want to be. Now, here's where it gets really powerful. When you respect your own time first, everything else shifts. You'll find that you have more patience for your spouse, more energy for your kids or grandkids, more clarity at work. You move from being a victim of the clock to the director of your day. I remember the first time my husband noticed the change. He said, "You seem different in the mornings, less rushed." I realized I had been bringing my morning chaos into every interaction. When I gave myself those 10 minutes, I showed up as a better partner, a better parent, a better human. This is what success momentum really means. It's not about productivity hacks. It's about how one intentional choice creates a ripple effect through your entire day. Think about it like this. When you start your day by immediately reacting to emails or the news or someone else's crisis, you're training your brain that your needs don't matter. You're teaching yourself that you're not the priority. But when you start your day by honoring one small commitment to yourself, you're sending a completely different message. You're saying, "I matter. My peace matters. My energy matters." And your brain? Your brain is listening? Now, let's talk about something that nobody wants to hear but everyone needs to know. You cannot have a great morning without a strategic evening. I'm talking about what I call the digital sunset. At our age, sleep hygiene is non-negotiable. Your body isn't 20 anymore. It needs a real rest, not just collapse time. Here's what the science says. Get some natural sunlight before noon to reset your circadian rhythm. Even 15 minutes makes a difference. Move your body, even if it's just a walk around the block. And for heaven's sake, put the phone away after 7 p.m. I know. You want to check the news. You want to see what your friends posted. You want to watch just one more episode. But here's the truth. That blue light is destroying your sleep quality. And poor sleep guarantees a terrible morning. Your brain needs to cool down. Literally. Your core body temperature needs to drop for quality sleep. That means no intense screen time, no heavy meals, no stressful conversations right before bed. Instead, create a simple evening ritual. For me, it's making tomorrow's lunch, setting out my coffee mug, and reading fiction for 20 minutes. That's it. Nothing fancy, but it works because I'm sending my brain a signal. The day is ending. You can let go now. Rest is coming. And when you wake up differently. Not groggy and resentful, but ready. Not behind, but prepared. Let me be clear about something. This isn't about perfection. Some mornings you're going to fail. You're going to grab your phone first. You're going to skip your launch sequence. Life happens. But here's what changes. When you fail, you don't spiral. You just start again tomorrow. Because you're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to be intentional. I want you to try something for me. Just 3 days. Not a month. Not a year. Just 3 days. Tonight, decide what your first 10 minutes will be tomorrow. Write it down. Make it so simple that you can't fail. Tomorrow morning, protect those 10 minutes like they're sacred. Because they are. And then notice how you feel at noon. Notice how you interact with people. Notice if anything shifts. You aren't becoming a morning person. You're not trying to fit into someone else's idea of success. You're just finally giving yourself the priority you deserve. Reclaiming the first 10 minutes of your day is an act of self-respect. It's how you transform from a reactive survivor into an intentional leader of your own life. And you know what? You deserve that. You really do. So here's my challenge. 3 days, 10 minutes each morning. One small commitment to yourself. Try it. And then come back and tell me what changed. Because I promise you something will